Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable. Kurlon, helping India sleep healthy.
In today's fast-paced life with daily hustles and deadlines, we tend to ignore the importance of quality sleep. And getting a good night's sleep is incredibly important for our health. It helps improving concentration, productivity, and our immune system. One of the most important factors for a good sleep is a quality mattress. Keeping that in mind, Kurl-on, India's leading mattress and home comfort brand, is on a quest to make India sleep healthy.
Hello and welcome to our special feature, Kurl-on, helping India sleep healthy. I'm Paramita Chatterjee. Today we are here at the Kurl-on headquarters in Bangalore to find out a little bit more about this 60-year-old brand that you and I are all familiar with. In fact, we've all slept or have a little bit of Kurl-on in our lives. Indeed, that's the motto that the company follows. But it's much more than just a sleep solutions company. And that's what it's aspiring to be.
Established in 1962, Kurl-on offers a wide range of mattresses, comfort accessories, home furniture, and furnishing products. The company, with its state-of-the-art technology and constant research and development, focuses on quality products which can provide sound sleep solutions to its customers.
So let's find out a little bit more from its CEO, Jyothi Pradhan, who has a rich vein of experience both in India and the US, and she's obtained her undergraduation as well as master's degree there and has now come back home to take over the reins of the company. Jyothi, many thanks for joining us today. Tell us a little bit more about really what the journey has been like when it comes to Kurl-on. It's a brand with a 60-year-old legacy. I mean, from the days that you began to where you are now, just take us through what's been shaping this mattress giant.
Wonderful. So happy to be here. Thank you for having me. And you're right, Kurl-on is not just a brand. It's actually an emotion in India. And this is what really fascinates me about the company that I'm in. And every day we hear so many more stories about the brand and how it has impacted people. So our journey starts in 1962. And this is the time when India was going through the Industrial Revolution. Our founder, late Mr. Ramesh Pai, was part of the industrial delegation that went to Germany. And we brought back technology to try to see how we can create industrial jobs within India. At that point of time, the company was called Karnataka Consumer Products Limited, and the focus was to try to use the material that is locally available. And at that point of time, it was coir, which is the cocoa fiber, part of the outer side of the coconut shell. And coconut is something that is available across India. Coast to coast, north to south, you find coconut trees. And we felt if this beautiful material can be converted into something of value, then it would really change the game for India. And that's how the machinery came in, and we started Kurl-on as Karnataka Consumer Products Limited. Now, over the years, for us, we've fine-tuned and become technical experts as how to make this machinery and utilize the same machinery to make other products. And so we got into automotive seating, carpet underlays, as well as mattresses. At one point of time, the company's motto was stand on, sit on, sleep on, Kurl-on.
Wonderful. That's an inspiring start. In fact, that's amazing. Now we know a little bit more about Kurl-on, which probably all of us have slept on at some point in time. But, as I was saying, this is a brand which is much more than just mattresses, right? Especially in today's day and age. So how are you keeping pace with the kind of trends, and what made you go beyond just offering sleep solutions?
Well, I think let me take a little bit of a step back, because you have to understand a journey in sleep and how our brand became synonymous with trust and reliability. Our core was so much into perfection and obsession of giving performance product. So as we started bringing in the sleep technology, we noticed that the consumer in India has to face different climatic conditions, based on where you live. If you live along the coast versus if you live in the foothills of the Himalayas or in one of the Rajasthan desert cities, the humidity, what is available locally, and the kind of lifestyle you have is extremely different. And so we started creating products that were sandwich mattresses, which were designed for different parts of the country that took into account the local conditions, the local climatic conditions. And that is how the entire India became synonymous with Kurl-on for mattress.
Indeed, and customized essentially to the Indian customer. That's always been your USP.
Absolutely. And India is such a hotspot of different cultures and different lifestyles. So as we took our journey over the last 6 decades, we have maneuvered and gone through so many different opportunities and challenges brought to us by the Indian consumer. And we have adapted our products, adapted our speak, and adapted our brand to be able to fulfill those needs. One of those things that we did in the last few decades has been really focusing on the consumer and how they use the mattress in their lifestyle. Now, in the last 10 years, we have seen a huge progress in our country where people are not afraid to leave their hometown and go explore a different city, a different place to stay, and want to have their livelihoods and careers there. What this did is that it gave us an opportunity to really understand the consumer's lifestyle. I mean, if you are a nuclear family living in an apartment in a metro city, your space requirements, your family that you have is very different than if you're living in a bungalow in rural India.
Would it be fair to say that today India, in terms of Kurl-on's ability to meet the customer's needs, you're actually catering to as many customer profiles as possible. I mean, and that's evidenced by the range of your products as well.
Absolutely, and that's why we dare to say that we are the Mattress of India.
You are indeed the Mattress of India, and I love your, hashtag, which is Let's Kurl-on.
Absolutely.
And of course, helping India sleep healthy. You spoke a little bit about infrastructure, and clearly that was on a very strong footing. Today, when we're talking about infrastructure, the kind of ecosystem, how does the company look?
Well, the infrastructure has been great because over the last 6 decades, we've really perfected our manufacturing. And what happened over the last 20 years is we have opened up our technology not only into coir, but also spring and polyurethane foam. And this gives us a variety of materials to work with. Now, the industry is constantly changing and constantly looking at new comfort products. But at Kurl-on, we have a trust from the consumer that we have to keep up. So we don't use any which material which comes our way. There is a very high level of testing and performance testing that is done for a reasonable period of time. And only when we are confident of the performance of the product for the Indian consumer in any Indian home, it is then that we incorporate it as part of our product portfolio and then take it up to the next level.
So it's hashtag Let's Kurl-on with hashtag, keeping in mind the quality as well. Quality is paramount in order for you to retain the customer trust. And talking about the customer, I mean, the customer has undergone a huge change, especially the last few years when you took over.
Absolutely.
During the pandemic. And we've seen startups bloom. How would you sort of respond to this kind of competition which is coming up, especially in the direct-to-consumer space?
Exciting, because the more talent that we are able to bring into the industry, the better it is for all of us. You need to understand how Kurl-on has brought its roots. Our value system is based on what our founder's belief system was. And our founder, Mr. Late T. Ramesh Upai, believed that there's 2 ways to make money. One is you can figure out how do I become a billionaire, or second is how do I make a difference. And Kurl-on's journey has been taking that, how do I make a difference, and taking it forward. So when we have created our journey of 60 years, it has always been about how can we add value, whether it is to the ecosystem, to our vendors, to our raw material suppliers, to our channel partners. And this Atmanirbhar Bharat about think global, act local, vocal for local, these are things that we don't just talk, but we walk the talk. Our vision statement from Kurl-on, where we say that we take a promise every morning, where we promise that Kurl-on will sustain brand leadership, with the highest consumer delight, using world-class manufacturing processes, innovation, making it the best place to work, thereby delivering exponential growth and maximized wealth to channel and stakeholders in a socially responsible way.
Right.
These are 6 very big ideas that keeps us on our toes constantly.
And so clearly, all these startups are pushing you towards,
Absolutely.
even further excellence.
When we started looking at the consumer requirements, a lot has changed. Where we have really upped the game is we have incorporated AR technology, blockchain technology, making things very accessible, making things very transparent. I mean, you just look outside your window. In the last 5 years, what India was, what India is today, is going to be very different from what India is to be in a few years from now.
Let's take a break on that note, because we want to know more about how technology is reshaping the mattress that a lot of India, in fact, a majority of India sleeps on. You're watching our special feature, Kurl-on, Helping India Sleep Healthy, and we are right here in their beautiful headquarters in the city of Bangalore, but we'll be back after a very short break. Don't go anywhere.
Kurlon, helping India sleep healthy. Kurlon, helping India sleep healthy.
Welcome back to our special feature, Kurl-on, Helping India Sleep Healthy. And we are in conversation with its dynamic CEO, Ms.Jyothi Pradhan, who has recently taken over at the helm of the company and is helping it steer its way towards the future in a very exciting market. Jyothi, welcome back. And
thank you.
Just when I took a break, you were telling us a little bit about innovation, because somebody with your background, with your pedigree, and with your kind of leadership, wherein you've worked in the US and today you've come in India. Tell us, what does really technology mean in a company like Kurl-on, and how does it tie in with innovation?
Absolutely. So for Kurl-on, our biggest USP has been our R&D department. And this is where the heart of our innovation lies. And it actually starts with the consumer, the person who uses our product. Now, over the years, we've been closely working with the medical fraternity, because whether you like it or not, sleep is an essential part of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. And though we started out working only with the ortho department, because it was all about the posture and the support, today we are working with neurology, gastroenterology, and psychiatry, because these are all very important parts of our healthy sleep. And that's why we want to help India sleep healthy.
Right.
So it is a holistic approach in how we do our R&D. Mm-hmm. And once we understand the different problems, our design team then steps in. And our design team, like I was sharing earlier, is very particular on what kind of materials we use. We choose materials and we evaluate materials with a lot of different tests that we have built in-house. Mm-hmm. And these ensure that the performance of the product is delivered to the customer, no matter how it is being used, which part of the country it's being used, what climatic conditions it's being used. And that is how the trust of Kurl-on resonates every day within the Indian consumer.
So you're really using technology to really spur that kind of R&D innovation to create and cater to all these, whether it's medical or whether it's daily needs of the customer.
Absolutely.
Okay, now tell me a little bit about Kurl-on. I began by saying sleeping solutions, and one thinks of Kurl-on as that, but you want to be much more than that. So what are those new horizons?
Absolutely. So in 2020, we realized that the most used spaces in the home are the bedroom and the living room, because this is where we come together as a family, we socialize as a family, and this is where the products get used the maximum. And our focus has been from the company of what best comfort can we give to the person, an individual, or to the family within the home. And so the brand Home Comforts was launched in 2020 with the focus of giving a very good quality product with a design element, with functionality and affordability.
Okay, so you mean today as a customer, I can actually go and approach your company and ask them for a complete solution for my home?
Absolutely. Right now, we have started with, like I said, the living room and the bedroom, where we have kept ourselves different from the other players in the industry. Is we have a 4D app that is powered by augmented reality, AR. So you can sit in the comfort of your home, pull up your phone, look at the AR app, position different pieces of furniture in your living room, in your bedroom, see if it matches your wall color, see if it matches your curtains, see if it matches your flooring, and then decide what furniture you want to go and purchase before you even step out of the house.
Wow, that sounds amazing. I mean, that's something that we pay actually a lot of money to, specialists to do that. So
Absolutely.
that's possible on your app. Now, one of the other, you said there are 6 key sort of, principles that are guiding you. And one of them is clearly sustainability. I mean, that's how your history really started with Coir, but you've gone in much more. What does sustainability mean today for Kurl-on?
Well, when we started looking at the Kurl-on ecosystem, we realized that we touch 5 industries. Through the rubberized coir, we touch the agro industry. Through our polyurethane foaming, we touch the chemical industry. Spring comes from the construction industry. Every product is covered with textiles, fabrics, and every product is packaged and ready to retail. And when you're manufacturing and selling 10 lakh units every year, it's a lot of mattresses out there. And so we realized as a company, we need to take responsibility and extended producer responsibility, which is EPR, which is at a global standard today. And we should aspire to be at the global standard because India is going to be global before you know it. And as part of that journey, we've been looking at the coir waste that is generated in our factories, and we're actually taken a very different approach. Back in the day, it used to be all about vertically integrating or building everything up yourself. But today, with so much of specialization required, the name of the game is collaboration. And so we have collaborated with a couple of startups here in Bangalore. And with them, they collect our coir dust. They convert it into biocomposites. And these biocomposites are then molded into furniture, which can be used for outdoor. And that is about 35% of those chairs are made with agro waste.
Wow. So even if I'm buying chairs or other items, the possibilities are endless.
Absolutely. And we've gone a couple of steps further, tracking the entire story on blockchain technology, making it auditable anywhere in the world. And we're also doing carbon footprint mapping with cradle to grave emission tracking, because we believe the life cycle of these chairs are going to be anywhere from 5 years to 10 years.
Right.
And by the time it's time for you to replace them, India is going to be a very different country. And we got to be ready for the future.
Wow, and the next decade is India's, according to the world. In fact,
Absolutely.
talking about the world and looking at these kind of international standards, whether it comes to, sustainability, your carbon footprint, your production quality. I mean, what are your global plans? I mean, are you planning from, just being a market leader in India to actually stepping out?
Well, I'm glad that you asked that, because we're just getting ready to start a 24-month journey where we believe we have a fantastic product that has been indigenously harnessed, taking something as beautiful as coir and turning it into such a lovely product as a mattress. And so we are starting the journey of taking the brand beyond India, and we're going to have a global presence very soon. And this way, we want to cater to every Indian who's outside India.
Wow. So, I can shop for Kurl-on if I step outside the shows very soon.
Absolutely.
Okay. In terms of, as you said, India is a land where everything is changing so fast, customer expectations and all of that. And with the way the market has sort of exploded with these startups, and you yourself have really innovated, I mean, where do you see the market really headed when it comes to the future, the next 5 or 10 years? And how are you preparing for that?
So Kurl-on's secret to success has actually been collaboration. Through different points in our journey, we've always had collaboration, whether it's from the technical know-how, building up or upgrading our machinery, building very strong relationships with our partners, as well as getting into the retail part, where we've collaborated with some very big brands within India to really help understand the customer changing patterns. And as we look into the future, Collaboration is again going to be the name of the game. And we are already in talks with some key players, not only in Asia, but also in Europe and the US, to see how we can come together to bring something fantastic to the sleep industry.
Wonderful. So you're already preparing through partnerships and really looking at the entire world is your oyster. Finally, Jyothi, tell me a little bit. I mean, it's such a pleasure to meet a woman CEO who is helming the company. Tell us, how difficult or challenging was it? And how do you really keep the balance between the demands of home and the demands of a very challenging work environment as well, keeping in mind the expectations which are on you?
Well, it's not easy, I can say that. And I think every day is a learning experience. I'm very, very lucky to have a very supporting family, both not just my husband and my kids, but my parents and in-laws have also, been there to fill in the gaps and be supportive. And I think in a place like India, women entrepreneurship is big. We just don't realize it. And I think we as women sometimes discount what we're capable of, and we hesitate. And I think if we are able to come out of that shell and be there for each other, that's going to be a turning point for the future of the country.
Indeed, I think, Jyothi, your team is blessed to have you as a leader, and we are hoping to see many more exciting things coming out of Kurl-on. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. It's been an eye-opener. All the very best.
It was my pleasure.
And that brings us to the end of this special feature of Kurl-on, helping India sleep healthy, giving us an insight into what the future holds for this mattress giant, which is very much an Atmanirbhar and India-grown company, which has got global ambitions as well.
Kurlon, helping India sleep healthy. Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.